the supply chain has been nuked, right? Figuratively and literally been nuked, right? And this is on purpose. This isn't an accident. We've heard our leaders say, all right, the president himself said that he will ban fossil fuels, right? Before he got into office, he said, I promise you I will ban fossil fuels to this crying college student. It was so, hit me right there, right? So this is on purpose, all right? Sorry to make a joke there, but it's true. He said that he is going to ban fossil fuels, and now the economy is suffering for it, and the supply chain is being shut down for it. All right, so this is on purpose. They can say all they want that, oh, it's just Russia doing it, or it's this doing it, or whatever doing it. We know what's really going on, right? We know what's happening. We know there's an economic shutdown. We know there's people that actively say they don't want fossil fuels and they don't want energy production. They don't want carbon. They don't want all these different things. All right. There's people that actively say this. So, I mean, they should be the first ones to look at when things like this are happening. All right. So let's get into this. All right. The supply chain is totally being destroyed. All right. We've seen it from every angle, but now another critical angle is being hit. All right. So one of the biggest steel producers in Europe is now shutting down massive amounts of their production, right? So their capacity to produce steel has been essentially wiped out, right? So it says, here's the headline, steel giant shuts down plants in Germany, sparking energy crisis fears, all right? So this actually happened last month. They deactivated one, but now they are deactivating another one, all right? So it says, two of Germany's largest steel manufacturing plants are being forced to shut down, all right? The plan to deactivate one of the largest steel plants in Hamburg last month caused shockwaves throughout the industry, all right? It says the world's second largest steel company also said it would later shutter down its blast furnace at the Bremen site at the end of October, all right? And these are not things that you just flip a switch like you flip the lights to turn on, right? The heat that it takes to smelt and melt these metals and these ores and refine them and turn them into the products that we need, that the economy needs, cars need, ships need, everything needs this, all right? Buildings need this, and we are shutting down our steel production, all right? This seems like we are regressing. It seems like we are going back to the Stone Ages. And you don't just shut down this thing. It takes 6 months to turn back on. These blast furnace, some of these, smelting areas, they take months to turn back on because they are so hot, right? And it takes massive amounts of energy to turn them back on. So they're worried about energy just operating them to keep them going. Imagine the amount of energy it'll take for them to turn it back on as well. If they ever do. A lot of these things, a lot of mills and things like that, once they shut down, they just shut down because people move away, people get different jobs, and then nobody can work in these mills anymore, and they're just gone, all right? They're just gone once they shut down. So this happened, to paper mill, all right? This paper mill I always used to drive by in Florida, up near Port St. Joe, Florida, and it got shut down, all right? So it can happen, all right? And once these mills and these companies shut down, it's just nobody's gonna stay around. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna stay around and work at some other place. There's probably no other place to work. That's how it is at a lot of these places. That's the only job in the area, is to work at the local steel mill or whatever. All right. So, and it says these high energy prices are also affecting many other sectors. All right. So it's not just steel. So it says chemicals are being affected as well. All right. Fertilizers are being affected. Glass is being affected. Paper and ceramics, all right, have all been put on notice now because steel is shutting down. These other sectors are right behind steel in their energy consumption, all right? They need high levels of heat, high levels of energy to produce their products, and it's not happening. All right, it's too expensive. It costs too much, unless they're going to charge 10x for their steel, but they don't know that the market is going to handle that. So for now, and they probably don't have enough operating costs month to month to even keep this operating, because it probably takes, a while to actually make things, to get orders placed and orders out, get paid and everything. And they probably don't even have the operating costs month to month to keep this going. All right. So this was a quote from one of the leaders of the steel mill that got shut down. It says, quote, "With a tenfold increase in gas and electricity prices, which we had to accept within a few months, we are no longer competitive in a market that is 25% supplied by imports." Right? We see an urgent need for political action to get energy prices under control immediately. So, tenfold energy price increase. That's what he's saying. All right. And they're also saying production in Germany is no longer competitive. All right. Production in Germany is no longer competitive. Germany's, I think it's the third, fourth, fifth biggest economy in the world. It's right up there. All right. It's in the top 5 biggest economies in the world. And they're shutting down their steel plants. What does this mean for Europe? What does this mean for the rest of Europe? For their production, for their building, for their cars, for everything. What about if there is a massive war? What if the country needs, massive amounts of weapons, right? Or defense? What if they need all that and these steel plants are shut down, right? Seriously, it's a national security issue as well to not have steel production, and Germany's right there. It's not far from the front line, right? Germany is in it's in Eastern Europe, right? So it's over there, and it's a highly important country for steel production, right? So let me know what you think about this. All right, this could happen in other countries throughout Europe. This could happen in the United States, and this also seems like it's on purpose. It seems like an intentional shutdown as well. All right, it seems like they're shutting down our country's energy sector. All right, all of Europe, all of the United States is just being shut down. It's being throttled. At the same time, we are in an energy crisis. All right, it doesn't make any sense. It should be just open the taps, let it flow, let it go, dump the oil on the freaking ground if we have to, right? But it seems like the taps are just throttled, right? And who's doing it? Who's keeping it like that? So let me know what you think. Thank you guys for watching, and you have a big old blessed day.